People are the lifeblood of an organization, and you need the right kind of leaders to really influence them, to mentor them, to take them to the next level. And that is what our next speaker will be touching upon. Our keynote address will be presented on hiring leaders, choosing a leader, not a boss, and who better than an absolutely fantastic leader himself. May I please request all of you to put your hands together and extend a very warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Mr. Shankar Tripathi, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Aadhar Housing Finance. A round of applause as I request Sir's kind presence here on stage.
Very warm good morning to you all. I am thankful to Sapphire Human Solution and Vicky for having me here. I am truly honored and humble among the senior professionals, the top recruiting firms. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ankit Bansal and Mr. Arun Chawla set the context of this particular conclave, that is hiring leadership conclave, and that is very important. And she was just mentioning, and both of them mentioned, the people are the backbone of any organization, and the leaders who sit on top and different ladder, they actually make the people energized to run the organization. A topic for me, for the keynote address, is choosing leader versus boss. Actually, leader and bosses both have a common objective to achieve the results, run the organization as per the expectation of board or promoter. Only the difference between both is the process of managing the organization that is different. One uses authority, other uses his influence. One commands the people, other relates with the people. The boss always trust and responsibility, while the leader delegates the authority and empowerment. So all those, both the things, what is good or what is bad, it differs in the ecosystem in which we operate. It is not that one is wrong or one is good, but what is good today, that is more important to be known to us. Friends, every human being has innate qualities of various timeless leadership traits. And in late 20s or early 30s, he develops various leadership traits while working in an organization for 10, 15 years in a particular environment, looking at their own leaders, and he develops those traits. And those traits become an important imprint in his mind going forward. Only the domain expertise or certain other things which he learns going forward, he changes. So if he has got dominance of the authoritative quality, he becomes a boss. If he has a dominance of the people-related qualities, he becomes a leader. That's the only difference. And everyone, the leader can become boss every point of time, but boss cannot become always a leader because the qualities which he has inherited is difficult to change. Let us go back how this has evolved over a period of time. Take 49, 50 years. I have worked in a public sector bank for about 37, 38 years and 10 years in private sector. So I can tell you how this has changed in 40, 47, 48 years. If you take today, these days we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years. You see the phases, the industrial phase, then the green revolution, then the white revolution in the country, and then the banking revolution came, and thereafter telecom and IT revolution came. 1991, 2000, it was a complete reform phase in the country, and globalization, liberalization came. And thereafter, we have seen that the knowledge revolution came from 2000 and 2010. And subsequently, today we are in digital revolution. So we have seen that how the entire ecosystem has changed. In one of the speakers, he mentioned that leaders are nurtured in-house, our leaders are hired. In earlier dispensation, before 30 years, there were very few private organizations were existing. The predominance was the government organization, be it bank, be it government department, whatever it may be. And there was no specific system of hiring leadership. People were hired at the junior level position. They nurtured and grew over the leadership position. It was a pyramidal structure. Those who developed various qualities, they moved ahead. Today, if you see any government organization, they are headed by the people who are grown from inside. Couple of people on different positions like risk management or something like that, they are hiring from outside, otherwise they have nurtured. In 1993-94, when the pace of liberalization and globalization came, lot of industries, lot of new generation banks came, the entire public sector provided the manpower. So we inherited the leaders who have been nurtured in a different environment, and that was complete dominance of boss type of structure. Because opportunities were not there. Even a boss was telling his employee, you are a donkey, you have to work. He was telling, sir, I am the biggest donkey. Because he had no option. He had to work. And those who were capable, they were learning the various qualities and they moved ahead. So that was a complete boss type of structure. But during that point of time, there were many among those who were using their people-oriented talent, and they were making a difference between two government organizations. It was not that at that point of time, the people were not self-developing without having any formal training and other things they were only getting in-house trainings and all that. Subsequently, when the lot of private sector development happened, a lot of opportunities started coming. The people's aspiration from the stability of job or the compulsion of requirement of a job for feeding the family and working under a typical rude or nice boss, whatever is a good and bad boss, the situation moved from stability to growth because the opportunities were available. It means people were not working there under a rude boss or a good boss because of their choice, because of their compulsion. But when they got opportunity, they started moving, and it moved from stability to growth. And subsequently, if you see the millennials and the Gen Z, all these people, they are highly talented. They neither believe in the stability nor believe in growth, nor believe in both. They believe in the freedom of the way they want to work. And that's why the entire ecosystem has changed. So if you apply the boss type of leadership today, you are completely failed. Because today, talent management has become a key challenge. We are living in a complete uncertain world. It is a VUCA world where we all see that dynamism, volatility, all these things are marks of the day. And the COVID and the new hybrid working environment, this has changed things completely. The disruption taking place, not only in digitalization, but in every walk of life, has made the life more difficult for organization to get a leader who should be multifaceted and who should fit in different role. If you feel that I hire a person from a big organization and fit in a particular situation, it may not possible, it may fail. An X person might be a great leader in one organization, he may fail in different organization because it is the cultural fit that is more important. He mentioned about the great resignation, retaining talent, encouraging talent, fostering innovation, fostering growth. These things have become the most difficult these days. And therefore, the leader, if you are trying to choose, if you find a person highly knowledgeable, there are a lot of talents available in the market. But whether he will fit into that ecosystem or not, that is only a difficult thing. Suppose you hire a CFO, and CFO is very capable in managing the capital, managing the debt. But if he is not conversant with managing a strategy for the cost reduction, the cost optimization, do you think is the right fit? No. That is the challenge we are passing through these days. These challenges were not available 25, 30 years back when the heightened competition was not there. Today there is a heightened competition. The innovation, the speed of change is enormous. Today you set one policy process, we do one innovation, tomorrow somebody brings with something more reformative thing. The leader has to wear different hats every point of time. It's not one size fit for all. If we feel that one size fit for all work, no. And all the qualities you say in the leader you need to have, that he should have a passion, he should have a patience, he should have a perspiration, he should have a persistence, he should have a people orientation. All those qualities are definitely important. But the most important quality which you have to find in the leader is adaptability. Adaptability to change. He should be able to foster the change. If he is not able to foster the change, if he is not able to relate with the people, he is all set to fail. That's why Charles Darwin said, it's very clearly in a quote he said that it is not the strongest species that is going to win the race. It is not the most intelligent that is going to win the race. It is the person who is most adaptable is going to win the race. That's why when we talk of the boss or we talk of a leader, we have to see the ecosystem in which context we are hiring. The organizations are the community of people. They have large number of leaders at middle management, senior management, top management, CXO level, sitting across the globe or across the country. And if the leaders or the CXOs are not able to infuse the energy in them, if they are working in silos, the organization is set to fail. Because we all know, no organization operates at 45-degree angle, that is a normal growth in profit and business every point of time. Organization does pass through the various ups and downs. And if one CXO or leader comes, he takes the organization to the zenith of its growth. But subsequently, the flat position comes, or the organization becomes plateaued, or its downfall comes. He moves away because today, I think all of you know better than me, the duration of a leader is 3 to 5 years, barring few exceptions. People keep on moving so frequently, the moment they see the organization is in downward trend, they move out. At that situation, the person who stepped in the shoes, he cannot apply same leadership trait which his predecessor had applied. Or what things made him succeed in earlier organization will make him succeed here. So he has to think what sort of situation you to apply. So the organization is stagnant phase or in the downward phase, probably you have to apply the mix of leadership qualities and boss-like qualities. Because we all have seen that many times the consensus decision, we should bring consensus among all top leaders in the CXOs among them, and if they are not relating, your decision will get delayed. At that point of time, the leader has to exert like a boss. If you feel that the collaborative approach, we all talk, all the leadership management gurus, they talk about collaborative approach. But to bring collaboration is again a great ability of a leader. If among all the people with whom he collaborates, one is the defector, the things will never work. At that point of time, he cannot think that I have to be people-oriented. He has to either exert his authority or he should refuse him to participate. So there are various situations. That's why I said the leader has to wear various hats every point of time. He cannot wear only one hat there. And you see, I was just, you might have listened, the Gyan Vatsal Guru, Swamiji Gyan Vatsal's one video which was floating on the WhatsApp, I also happened to hear that. He was telling when he was talking to Sundar Pichai, he asked him, when you hire senior people of 10, 20, 25 crore rupees salary, they are highly qualified. They are either foreign universities, MBAs, engineers, or they are IIM, IIT graduates. They had 25, 30 years of domain experience. What do you look into that? Sundar Pichai told him, I only asked them one question. And what is that question? He said that question is very simple. How you manage the failure? I mentioned a guy joins a company which is passing through turbulent stage. How he managed, because no company can always run at 45-degree angle. It can go to even 0 degree or minus angle also. And he said that 25, 30 minutes he has to speak. We don't look at that, what he said, how he managed the failure. He might have applied his practices, processes, so many great things might have applied, and he would have come out of failure. But we just observe what was his attitude to manage that failure. So when we talk about certain great qualities, we look at that what has been his attitude. That is more important. That's the reason in today's leadership when you hire, it is not that that is great success in past, the highly talented person. You have to watch him that whether he has emotional intelligence in him or not to be successful in managing various situations, maybe defection in the organization, maybe in inspiring the people. And he has to deal the people in a different way. The junior level people, when he deals, he has to apply his people orientation approach. But when he has to deal with the top level people, he has to apply his strategic approach. He has to invite differences and he has to accept that. That is why the emotional intelligence is only that a leader must know what is self-regulation, what is self-awareness, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses. He should have empathy. He should have self-motivation to ensure that no failure come what may be, I will sail through it. So these are the various stages in the organization life comes. And the success of a CEO and a leader depends on that only. That's why when we talk that which leader is going to be succeed, our boss is going to succeed, we have to look into the very clearly what is the situation, what is the ecosystem in organization, at what level organization is that, from where it has to be lifted, heavy lifting is required. Similarly, the qualities of the boss has to be applied, or the qualities of leadership have to be applied. But the right set of the people is one who has predominance of the leadership qualities, but he must have certain boss-like qualities so that depending on situation, he can have fungibility of those qualities. I just tell you about 2 minutes about how in last about 8, 9 years, because my exposure in the private sector is from about close to 10 years. I have always worked in a closed environment where with your own ability you can go up and get the positions and use the authorities as your people orientation to manage the work. When I came to the private sector, it's not that easy. People are very talented, but to make them work is more difficult. 2017, I had to go for merger with another group company. My company is from ex-DHFL company. Now it is no more DHFL company. We have to go merger for a different company, a group company, having a different mindset. The another company was old generation banking attitude. My company, which I was heading, it was a complete new age working style. Both were in the housing finance. But the merger took place in 5-6 months' time in such a way, in seamless manner, that both the companies together grew much faster. So there, if the boss-like leadership I would have applied, I would have failed, because integrating the mind of two different type of people, one old generation, one young generation, was an uphill task. There, the complete people orientation was applied. Subsequently, when the company was rocking in the growth, September 18 came and the ILFS crisis rocked the entire financial system. And the DHFL own issues put the company in an uncertain situation. About 5,000 employees. The fate was not whether the company will survive or not. And the housing finance company or any finance company without getting loan from the banking system can't survive. That was a difficult situation at that point of time. If I would have lost my cool, if I would have lost my composure, who would have thought of 5,000 people? And at that point of time, the promoters were not in a position to support me in anything because they were struggling with the group problem. I had to navigate the sale of company in close to about 8-9 months' time it took to the Blackstone. Blackstone became owner of the company. So from the most difficult time, the company moved to the best of the time. And it got the dream promoter, like a Blackstone. And not a single employee left during that point of time. So how much activities me and my other leaders with me would have done, it was an enormous task. Because saving the company, getting a new promoter, at the same time, not a single employee moves away because their job was at stake, it was a uphill task. And thereafter, the company had to grow also. If 1 year you were in lull period, rebooting the engine was again another problem. Therefore, what I am trying to say, in the present volatile environment, the rewiring and rebooting the organization at every point of time is a key important thing. So it is not the one size fit for all that work. That's why when you choose a leader has to be one who is cool and comfortable in a very complex and uncertain environment. He may possess all those traits or not, but if he's cool and comfortable in an uncertain and difficult environment, he will be able to sail the organization to its growth. That is very important. That's why it is always said that choosing leader is just like finding a daughter-in-law or son-in-law who should be compatible to the family, who should keep each other's happy, and if that situation you are in, probably you have done a best job. It is very difficult. It is not science. It is purely art where you have to find what is going to be the right fit. Do not run for a big company person. Do not run for a very highly talented person. The person should be agile. Person should be adaptable to the every situation who is going to hold. If that is the leader, he will make his young generation employee who are moving from one company to another company for their good way of working, good salary, or so many things, he will be able to retain them, whether it is a great, you say the resignation or anything. It is difficult to overcome every problem. But broadly, he will be able to see that the company remain afloat. So my conclusion is that the person who should be chosen, he should definitely have 25-30% of the boss style and 70-75% of the leadership trait, and he should have the ability to navigate between his boss style and the leadership style, then he can work. Neither the 100% leader can work. There are many team players. They may be up to head of department. They are very comfortable. They run department very finely. The moment they become leader, they fail because they do not have strategic thinking. They do not have guts to put his authority for a particular things. Therefore, it is not always a team player can make the company go, but largely, since we are dealing with the people, the person who have empathy with the people, person have ability to infuse energy in the people, fostering them to understand, take the ownership, that person always succeed. So I will leave my thought here with again one big thank to all of you for your patience hearing. Thank you very much.